Hello, hello. My name is Debbie Danford from craftyourcreations.blogspot.com, and I just wanted to pop in today to show a quick pinwheel card. Now, this style of card has definitely been around for a while, but it had been a while since I had made one, and I seem to recall the last time I made one, I felt like it was really difficult to put together, but I don't know if the person teaching me then was doing it different. I don't even remember, but I just know it had been a while. So I wanted to share a couple samples that I have made, and then we're going to make a couple today. I also shared this yesterday at my team meeting. And everybody picked out different DSPs, and yeah, they were just all very lovely cards that everybody was putting together. This one here was the one that I had shown that I had done first, and this is with the flowering zinnia paper, not magnolia, flowering zinnia paper. And this is the bundle and suite that my dear friend Tracy Evans Langley and I are using at our next East Meets West creativity kit that we are doing in August, which that post I think would have come out today, a little bit earlier. And you still have time to register to get in on that class. But this was just a quick sample here using that paper from that set, which is a very lovely card. And then I embossed the back with the Zinnia embossing folder, stamp first. Actually, when I made this one, I forgot to stamp first, and I did go back and stamp over it, which you can do if you're very careful, but doesn't always work. And then just some layers. So we're going to use some more of the Zinnia paper today when I show you a couple more, but I do want to show you the other two I made yesterday. And this is with the beautiful new Seasons of Green and Gold paper, which is online exclusive paper that just came out with the last release at the beginning of, what month are we in? July. For some reason, I thought we were already in August. Look at me trying to jump ahead already. But this is just beautiful, beautiful paper. We've got the gold on some sides and some have just the green on it. I can't wait to play with it some more. I haven't done much with it yet, but just to show you a couple samples that I used that paper with. Again, this one I highlighted with the gold layers here and the gold layer. And I did it as a Merry Christmas. I used the brick 3D embossing folder behind here. And then this one here, I didn't do any of the golds. And actually the paper I picked here, I feel like didn't necessarily scream Christmas. So it could be used for anything. So I did the Let's Celebrate, and then I embossed it with I don't know if you can see that, with the So Swirly embossing folder back there. But I thought it was a very stunning piece. It still turned out really nice, and it doesn't really have a Christmas feel to it necessarily. I colored the bling then with the Mossy Meadow Stampin' Blends on this one, but these cards are really very, very simple to put together once you have a good way to do it, I guess you could say. And maybe this is how it's always been, and maybe I just had difficult time doing one way back when. So the supplies you're going to need your card base, and it could be 4.5 by 8.5, or standard card base, 5.5 by 8.5. Or you can go the 4.25 by 11, which is what I had here because I already had these cut. So I just decided to use this direction this time. And then you need your layer, which this time I'm going to use 4 by 5.25. Of course, you could do it by the 8ths if you want, which is how I did these here. I did a really skinny border going around here. So this is in the 8ths dimension versus the quarters. Of course, you can do it any way you want when you're cutting your layers like that. And then your stamped phrase, 3 3/4 by 5, which I have already done. One of them is going to be a thank you. We're going to make 2, and one's going to be a happy birthday. And I stamped it already with Mossy Meadow. This is from the Simply Said. And then I embossed it with the Zinnia embossing folder. And those layers will go on there. And then you'll need 2 pieces of coordinating cardstock. Now, I usually try to coordinate it with whatever this layer is under here, but you don't have to. You need 2 pieces that are 2 5/8 by 2 5/8. And then you need 8 pieces that are 1 1/4 by 1 1/4. And you want two different patterns. So sometimes you can use front and back depending on what paper you are using. That is one pattern there. And then I'm going to use, I had a scrap of this pattern from the Zinnia, and I'm going to use it with this. So we're going to make two different ones here today. So what you do first, and I kind of use either use your grid paper, your glass mat, which these are now available to everybody. So if you don't have one of these, I would say get a glass mat. These are awesome. And I use that to line up the one piece with, you know, your lines here, just to make sure it's straight. And if you don't have any of this, you can eyeball it, because pretty much that's still what I'm going to do when I go to put this piece on. I end up just eyeballing this one and putting it down just like that. And then there's our beginning. Okay. And then what we're going to do is you're going to decide what color pattern you're going to start with, because you're going to use these little points is how you're going to line it all up. And I think that's the pattern I'm going to go with, is going to go just like that. Okay. So the first one you put down makes the difference, because you don't want to add adhesive under this portion of it, because when you get to the end, you're going to lift this up and tuck that last one underneath, and that's what completes the pinwheel on it. So what I do is just add a little bit of adhesive along right here, and I don't even go all the way to the corner, because I want to be able to make sure I can tuck that other piece underneath. And I kind of missed, I think, telling everybody that yesterday. So again, we're going to go right here. And I'm, like I said, I'm not going all the way to the corner, and I'm just adding a little bit. Now I'm using mono glue, green glue, whatever you call it, whatever your favorite glue adhesive is, because you get a little more wiggle room here to add these. Now remember, this piece isn't adhered down all the way, because we're going to need to lift that up. So we're going to leave that part just like that for right now. Okay. Then we're going to go right on to the next one. And we're going to just put that one right there. And you're always leaving your little equal border going around the whole card. Okay, next one. Okay, like, whoops. There we go, like that. There's our next one. Now remember, we have adhesive sticking out on some of those corners, so it will stick. So if you don't have a glass mat down here, you could use the silicone mat or anything like that to keep it from sticking to your paper if you have grid paper down. This one will go here. Like that. And see, I was practicing on the back of this one. I wanted to do some stamping, which that's a sneak peek of what was the start of one of the cards we are going to be making in the next East Meets West class. So if you haven't done that class with us, it's an awesome, awesome class. And like I said, a post just went out, so you can find it out here on my Facebook page. Or if you're not on my mailing list, craftyyourcreations.blogspot.com, you can get on my mailing list. It's going to be an awesome class. We do it via Zoom on a Facebook, a private Facebook group. And Tracy and I each make 4 cards. We have bonus classes available. We do what we call mystery stamping, which this time we're going to do it a little different. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. Would love to have you join us. And if you have questions about it, don't hesitate to contact me. Okay, so as you see, we're getting close to our end. So here's where we have this little piece we're going to tuck underneath. So what I do is I put my adhesive down here on the back of this one, and then I just tuck this down in here. And that's why I say you got to make sure you leave enough space to be able to get this in where you need it to go. which there we go. Just like that. And then what I do is lift this up and add a little bit of glue behind here. And now we've got that one glued down. And there's our start. There's our pinwheel finished on this one. And I like that pattern too. I think it all worked, even with the lines. I was not quite sure how it would work with that type of a pattern on there. So let's go ahead and pull our parts and pieces in and let's do some assembly here. Let's go ahead and add the stamped and embossed piece. Now I always tell all my customers and like people in my monthly club and stuff, this is real estate. You could die cut a piece out of that if you wanted to. I wasn't thinking about it, or I would have, because it's kind of wasted real estate there. Always keep that in mind. Anytime you're layering, if it's going to be hidden, die cut a shape or something out of it. If you're not die cutting a shape already out of it, you know, for layering on your card, or if you're die cutting like a phrase out. That might be a little crooked, but we're going to just go with it. Okay, this goes here like that. And then I'm going to grab the bling, which I had it out. Oh, here it is. I had moved all that stuff because it's kind of in a different spot for that our East Meets West Creativity Kit class. Now I'm going to pop this up. Oh shoot, I meant to grab some of the larger dimensionals because all I have out are, I used up my other ones, but that's okay, we'll make it work. And then we're going to pop this up with dimensionals, of course. I don't think I hardly ever make a card that doesn't have something popped up with dimensionals, but maybe sometimes. All right. Like I said, these are actually really simple cards to make, and I had a lot of fun. And I had one of my teammates texting me yesterday. She had made a couple more, so she had shared some pictures of it, and they were awesome. They're just, like I said, and I think this is an easy peasy card that you could make for beginner stampers, you know, anybody. Because once you figure out the pattern on how to put it together, I feel like it goes together really easy. So there's that, just like that. And let's see, we are going to, let's use some of the lemon lime twist here. We're just going to put that in the center. And let's put a couple more right here. Okay. Now, if you wanted, you can take a piece of that scrap and decorate the inside piece of your card, which I have a piece here we're going to cut down. Let's move that out of the way a little bit, and then we'll make our second card. So let's go ahead, and I'm just going to cut this. Oh yeah, that's that. I don't like it as wide. If you're okay with a wide piece, go ahead and put a wide piece on the inside, but I'm going to cut just a little strip like that, and then we'll just trim it off after we put it on. Just add a little bit of glue here. And you could go across the bottom, you can go across the side, it doesn't matter. You can go up, you know, all the way to the edge. I like to leave a little bit of a gap. I don't know why, I just kind of do. And then these are my scissors I use for sticky, gluey things. Okay, there's that. Now we'll go ahead and attach that to the inside. I like to work with my card base flat. I feel like then everything's laying flat. It tends to work easier for me. So then when I do the inside, I just flip it the direction I need, and then this is going to go right here. And working with it flat is something new I've been doing for several months now, and I feel like it works easier for me. I know we've all been taught to like burnish your card base right at the beginning, but then you're kind of always fighting with it or opening it back up. And see, then I just do this. And you can use your bone folder. And there's our card from today. So let's go ahead and make one more because these are just so simple to make. Okay, so I already have this one put together for us. And this time I'm going to use these two patterns here. I kind of thought about using the back side of the leaf, which maybe I will. Here, let's see what this looks like. So let's actually start with that one. Oh, maybe we will go all... This is the back side that has the leaf pattern when you look at it in a full sheet, which I couldn't figure out what to do with yet. So maybe we'll use that side. What do you think? I like that. Okay, we're going to do it that way. We're going to switch it up a little than from what I had originally planned. Why not? Oh, shoot. Okay, remember the first piece, we only put a little bit of glue right down here. So that piece is going to have to be next. So we're going to just attach this one here. And then we'll attach this one. And then I'll use that one I started putting glue all over. This is going to go here. Like that. So I will add a link for to get on my mailing list. If you're not on it, I would love to have you join my mailing list. That's where I usually share everything, sales, new catalog releases, products, pictures, all that kind of stuff. You can also follow my blog, again, craftycreations.blogspot.com. But I do tend to use Facebook quite a bit more. So definitely follow me out here on Facebook. I would love it. Share it, like it, all those kinds of things. And I do have a YouTube, Crafty Your Creations with Debbie, the same as my Facebook page. So there we are towards the end here. Now what we're going to do is take this piece, we're going to add our adhesive here. And then we're going to tuck this underneath here. And I know it's hard to see what you're doing there. There we go. There's that one. And then we'll just add our adhesive. Well, maybe I didn't have any adhesive coming out. Oh, I did not. There we go. Oh, I love how that turned out. I love those greens together. Excuse me. Okay, let's get our parts and pieces. And this phrase is from the Sweetly scripted set, which is an online exclusive set. And I love, love, love this set of words. This is an awesome set of words. Just like the Simply set is from the new annual catalog. And it's towards the beginning of the catalog. I don't remember the page number, but this is another great. These are two awesome word sets to add to your collection if you don't have these already. They're just great. Okay, so let's go ahead. And again, you have real estate there. You could die cut, you know, shapes out of or something. Let's go ahead and attach our stamped and embossed piece. And of course, you could emboss it with any embossing folder. I just chose to use the Zinnia since this was paper coming from the Zinnia suite. Just using it in a little bit different manner. And then we'll go ahead and add this to the card front. Oh no! Figures. I knew it was getting close. Let's put a new refill in. Now, I personally like to use the Stampin' Seal Plus, and they're easy peasy to replace if you turn it the right direction. These holes just line up. They're just so easy. Now, sometimes I do take mine apart because, you know, you get the gooey, sticky stuff come along right here, like I have here. And sometimes I will take it apart and clean it. You can clean it with, like, Dawn dish soap. Hand sanitizer works really well. Rubbing alcohol, any of those things will clean all that up and get that sticky out of there. But I prefer to use the Stampin' Seal Plus. We also have just the Stampin' Seal. They both work great. I just prefer this one over the other one. You know, preference, what you like, what you feel comfortable with. That goes there. And let's go ahead and pop up our pinwheel portion. Like I said, these are really easy cards to make. And just think of all the little scraps you end up with sometimes that you could easily just take. Because when you only need 1/4 of an inch, and you only need 8 of them, it'd be real easy to use some of those scraps up at the end of when you've cut some paper down for other cards. Or just cut some strips and make a whole bunch of pinwheel cards, because these are so easy to make. Okay. Sorry, I haven't been paying attention to comments or anything, so if you are commenting, I will check back later. And I'll add all the dimensions after I'm done here of what you need for this card. And let's go ahead and put it on just like that. And again, since we're kind of going greens, we're going to go with the lemon lime twist again. And that just adds, when you put something right there in the center, that just covers up where all those pieces meet right there. Yeah, we'll go ahead and put a couple right here. And then again, you could decorate. Let's see, I have a piece right here. So I'm going to cut just a little tiny strip off of this one. Actually, I'm going to cut it this way, since that's 4 and 8. Let me see what I have left here, just in case I want it, because this is that really pretty piece that you can cut down to make into cards. Oh, I got plenty. I got just enough if I want to do it as a 4 by 5 1/4 inch. You know, sometimes you got to pay attention to the patterns as to what you want to use them for too. I mean, I love this pattern, but the back side is that beautiful, that other beautiful paper. But we can always buy more, right? Which right now, this paper is unavailable. Yes, we know that. It will be back in stock, may not be back in stock by the time we are actually doing our class. So some of you will be late getting some of the product. Tracy and I picked this suite because we felt like it came out quite a while ago, so we felt like it would be an easy one to pick that wouldn't sell out right now, but that didn't work. You know, everything is so popular right now that, anyway, it did sell out, but it'll be back in just a couple weeks, and maybe sooner. That's one thing. They do give us a date most of the time out there when something's going to come back in, but I've noticed quite often it comes back in earlier. Okay, I always double check just to make sure I've got the right direction going here. I don't always stamp phrases on the inside of my card. I kind of wait till I'm going to use it, and I usually tend to handwrite stuff, even though I don't like my own handwriting, but I just have gotten used to it. Making cards, it's like, you know what, you get used to it. Okay. There we go. There's the 2 we made today. I love how they turned out. I love this paper. It is so fun to work with. And the projects Tracy and I have picked for our East Meets West Creativity Kit are just awesome. And because her and I stamp both a little bit differently, you make 4 from me and 4 from her, and they're just totally both beautiful cards, and you'll just love it. So come join us. I'll bring in, here's the other one from the Zinnia set, and then here's 2 from the greenery and gold paper, I think it's called, or something similar to that. I haven't played with it all that much yet, so I don't have the name down yet. Anyway, if you have any questions about the projects we made today, don't hesitate to contact me, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye, guys.